Hello everyone, my name is Mark DeWiz. I'm the creative director of Pocket Fighter EX, also the programmer, sometimes a pixel artist, and whatever else the project needs. I'm happy you can all be here with me today, and it's going to be the release of the version 0.3. So it's been a long time coming, but it's finally here. There's a whole bunch of stuff to go through, a whole bunch of changes since the last public demo. And just to make it clear before we continue, this is a free fan game. It is not associated with Capcom or SNK or anything like that. So, alright. The version should be released right now, and I'm going to double check just to make sure it's actually up there. I scheduled it. And it is. So, in the chat, if you type !Pocket Fighter EX, you'll get a link to the demo. And it's working. Good. We're all super good now. Alright. Everything's going according to plan. Alright, so this is basically like an advanced alpha build. So it's still very early. We have 9 characters before the version 1.0 can be reached. And we've done 3 of them, but we've done a lot of the groundwork for all the underlying systems. So theoretically, we should be able to pump out characters a bit faster than it has been at this point. So that's good. So it's still in the early stages though, so there's a lot that might change, but I feel like the gameplay and all that is pretty solidified at this point. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, I'm going to bring it on over and start the game up on this end. And there we go. My fight stick. Plug it in. There we go. Alright. So I'm going to show you guys Terry, who has not been included in any of the public demos so far. So he's brand new, he is complete, he's ready to go. Along with Ken and Ryu, who got substantial changes, but we will go through that. In fact, the whole game has had substantial changes, and I'm pretty happy with the way that it's playing so far. So, let's see. Alright, first things first. Just so you guys can see it better. I'm going to... oh, not that one. I'm just going to shrink the screen a bit. So there is like a oh, audio malfunction. Hold on. Cut out. Come on. There's a loose wire. Okay, got it. Alright, so you can actually shrink the window if you either A, want to see the lovely border around it, or B, if it doesn't fill the entire screen, you can get the border in there, or if you just want to look at it. There's a bunch of wallpapers, so like these like art from CVS 1 and 2 and such. And this is one that one of our team members made, which I like because it's got the Match of the Millennium Neo Geo Pocket Color art in the right corner. And then you can turn the frame off, or you can have different colors if you want. Or you can have the what we call the Super Neo Geo Pocket. Obviously, since this game would not be playable on a real Neo Geo Pocket, you'd be able to advance for that, so we use that it's a Super Neo Geo Pocket. You can actually simulate a pixel screen on it and stuff like that, but I'm not going to have it zoomed out that much. I think that should be pretty appropriate. And you can turn screen flashing on and off. Some people are bothered by it, so I did add that. But just wanted to do that so you guys can see it, because I know there's a little border on the bottom there. Whether you're watching it on Twitch right now or later on YouTube. So, Terry Bogard. My man, he's in. And he's ready. He's got colors. Got classic Neo Geo Pocket colors. Even black and white. If that's your fancy. We'll go with the default for now. And we'll beat up Ryu. We've got stages. New ones. These ones were in the original demo. I believe the Suzaku Castle was, but they're upgraded, and we'll go through them. We got Osaka, Court of the Line. This from King of Fighters '98. The Angkor Wat. Got a couple train stages. Anybody that knows me knows that I love trains, so of course I'm gonna have a bunch of that. So let's do the new stage for Terry. You might recognize it if you're a Garou Mark of the Wolves fan. It's inspired by Terry's one from that. So here he is. He's in action. He can move, he can jump, he can roll, he can super jump, he can do all the stuff. Got all his normals. Spin kick, back fist, whole deal. Oh, let me turn off the wake up attack there. Power wave, burn knuckle, crack shoot, power charge, power dunk, whole deal. And my controller is controlling the browser. I hate that. And the Edge browser will respond to controller input. So I had it focused in there. It was moving it around. We're good though. Power charge can be cancelled in 2 different attacks. He's got power geyser. Both level 2 and level 3. He's got it all. He's got, let's see, he's got power dunk. He's got so many damn special moves. Let's see. Make sure I'm not forgetting it. We did back knuckle rising, yeah. We did power wave, did burn knuckle, power charge, crack shoot, power dunk, oh, rising tackle. I knew I was forgetting one of them. There it is. Yeah. There we go. Getting screwed up. Terry's got it all. He's also got Buster Wolf, everybody's favorite. Are you okay? Now Terry's got a few interesting things with his EX moves, so that's pretty much normal Terry right there. But we do have, for EX Power Wave, it is Round Wave. And the interesting thing about Round Wave is it's special cancelable. So you can not only shield projectiles, which actually I'll show that. Crap. I chose Ryu again. I gotta choose Terry. They're each set to have a specific wake-up attack. Right now in training mode, and Terry's is the one that sets the projectile. Ryu's got a Shoryuken and Ken's got Tatsu. So, if I set him to attack, there we go. And that, by the way, is if you press left and taunt, it will toggle on the wake-up action. If you press right and taunt, it'll change his guard options. If you press down and taunt, it will change the dummy settings, like jump, or even human control. So, in which case, player 2 can mess around with it. But anyway, for the purposes of this, it eats it right up. It'll eat up a projectile up to 3 hits. So even if say Ryu throws out a Shinku, or not Shinku, EX Hadouken, it'll eat it up. Shinku Hadouken does 5 hits, so it'll eat 3 of those hits, but you're still gonna get nailed by it. But if he throws an EX out, it can eat it. You can completely shield it. And since it's special cancelable, you might be able to get a punish. Oh. Well, that he recovered in time for that, but if you're close enough. Oh. Yeah, let's try it again. Boom. So, it'd be very, very, very useful. In fact, not that one. There you go. You got right through it. So that's helpful, as you can imagine. There's also another bonus. Because it counts as a projectile, the interesting thing about projectiles is there's no knockback. Because you're not getting hit by the opponent, you're getting hit by a projectile. So, you don't get knocked back. Boom. And you can stay in there for more damage. The other thing, set him to guard. Safe on block. So this is your stay-in harassment tool. Yeah. So make use of that. So the next thing, crack shoot. Crack shoot's interesting because it causes a ground bounce. You can do anything out of it. Doesn't matter. It sets them up for the next action. And a max cancel can refresh that. So if you do 2 in a row normally, he's just going to get knocked down in the second one. Put a max cancel in between, and now you got a combo. It can also work with power charge. So you can set up a lot of nice combo extenders using that. Look at that. Cool. So there's a lot you can do with that. And there's another move that I'll show a little bit later that gets you even more combo extension. But before that, everybody's favorite, Burn Knuckle. Burn Knuckle. The EX form of that, very, very fast, very, very long. But the other interesting thing about it, Burn Knuckles go over ground waves, not Hadokens. You'll get tagged by a Hadoken. It is higher up. But if you think that thing's coming, boom, you can fly over it. And the same is true with the EX version. So that's some nice get in, projectile punish shenanigans. So, next, we've got the crack shoot that gives you a ground bounce, but the power charge gives you a wall bounce. Now, if you're not near the corner, you're not going to get it. It doesn't go far enough. But if you're in the corner, you can get it. And it can be combined with this. So you want big combos? That's what you're going to be going for. But that's not all, as they say. But wait, there's more. It's got armor. So let's change back to Ryu. It's a bit of a better example. So we'll show the other train stage, inspired by Terry's Fatal Fury 2 stage. The Mount Rushmore edition of the train. Okay, so Ryu's gonna do a DP. Now see. Oh, mistimed that. Oh my god, I'm screwing everything up. I guess I'm not close enough. Alright, whatever. We'll get closer. It's fine. Point is, it's got armor, and it's got a lot of power behind it. So, if they're near the corner, obviously, you can trap them. And you can go through whatever. But more importantly, if you're in the corner, you're out. It's one of Terry's best defensive metered moves. And of course, it could do all the crazy stuff too. So you definitely want to make use of that. Because you can also... Oops, hold on. Do it the other way. So there's a lot of options. There's a lot of stuff you can do with that. And of course you can combo into it. So there's no excuse. You better use it. Alright, so Power Dunk. Power Dunk's an interesting move. I added it because I like it. But it's a bit weird and unwieldy. So what did I do to make it a little more interesting? Well, as like most games, you can combo out of Power Charge into Power Dunk. Now, unlike the other characters, like Ryu and Ken, this is a hard knockdown, but it doesn't require any meter. Ken needs to use an EX Tatsu, a grounded EX Tatsu, to get a hard knockdown. And so what that means is the character can't roll out or quick rise when they get knocked to the ground. Notice how Ryu, he's set to randomly roll. And sometimes he gets up fast, sometimes he gets up slow. He's got options there, well, until he's dizzy. But notice, he will not do that with the hard knockdown. He will always get up on a consistent timing. So you can set up, well, your setups. The best way to do it is if you know you're going to get it, if you've got your combo going with Power Charge. So you can do that. Alright, so what's the EX form Power Dunk? Can Power Dunk get any better? Well, kind of. It's High Angle Geyser. It's one of Terry's supers from King of Fighters. It's now been turned into a level 1 EX. And it can, like its normal form, cancel out a Power Charge. So Power Charge is your go-to, thing here for pretty much all your combo extension needs. You want the extra damage, you go for that. You want the hard knockdown, you go for that. If you want just, if you want damage without spending meter, then you go for the crack shoe. And those are the majority of the things. Now you can, if I can get it. Let's see. This one's hard. I'm trying to charge. You can get Rising Tackle, but it's a little hard to get because of the charging. Oh, come on. Oh. I'm not doing my motion completely. Ah, man, it's tough. You gotta kind of already be charging, and then, oof. Alright, take my word for it. You can do it, but it's really tough. Now that brings me to the next topic, charge partitioning. And so not all fighting games have this, and it's very important for Terry. I'm not very good with charge characters, so it's very hard for me to demonstrate this kind of thing. But usually you have to hold down, and of course press up, and in this case it's punch. And I'll put the input view on so you can see it. There it is. The thing is, with charge partitioning, means you can actually stand up and go back down and then do it. So normally with charge moves, as soon as you let go of back, or as soon as you let go of down, your charge is lost and you gotta start all over again. With charge partitioning, you lose charge by standing, but you gain charge by crouching, so it's kind of like a level going up and down. So if you crouch, but then stand up, then come back down fast enough, you can recharge that portion that you lost by standing up. That hopefully is a clear explanation of that. Now, Third Strike, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike has that. Not all the games do have that, though. But I felt in a faster-paced game like this, it's probably going to be a mandatory thing. Now, it will let you, if I can get it, I'll try again. Yeah. I'm trying to get... It's tough, man. For me. It's tough. Ah, stop jumping. There we go. Okay, so you see I stood up to then do the half circle and then to get the power charge, but when I did, I had to hold down again and then I could cancel out of it to get it. Now you wouldn't be able to do that without charge partition. There's just not enough time in this move in order to do that. So that's very important. That'll be like more of a high level thing. And I believe we want to check how much damage something does. This attack info is what you're looking for. So that's what, 95? Rising tackle is 112. So it would actually be stronger to, at that point, instead of using crack shoot, to instead charge partition in a rising tackle. I think Adioki's pretty good either way. I was gonna say, you probably don't have too much of a knockdown advantage here. Got a little more time to set up some stuff off of the rising tackle, but you still got pretty good Oki on this, so it's fine. Either way should suffice. So, there's that. Terry's got a lot of stuff, so yeah, there's a lot of tools to make use of, but he does have some weaknesses too, so be aware of that. The uppercut is special. You can link between a light punch and the uppercut. You know, that's normal. But there's a target combo here, where you can do a standing heavy punch and then do the uppercut. So if you're close enough, it won't work at every distance, but if you're close enough, you can get 2 hits. And that is in here. It tells you, or it should tell you. Actually, I forgot to put that in. Oh my god, that's embarrassing. Well, we'll patch it in later. Just know, you guys got the secret info, alright? You know how to do the target combo now. So it's the same thing. So this is holding the down forward position and heavy punch. So it's heavy punch and then down forward heavy punch. So just like that, as you see on the top left. That's it. And now that uppercut is special cancelable, so you can do whatever you want out of it. Boom. There's a lot of stuff you can do. It's got pretty good damage, and it sets up for some good stuff. Turn those off. Let's see. Oh yes, the EX form of Rising Tackle. It's faster, it does more hits, pretty much standard uppercut DP, and I believe it is invincible at startup. Let me say otherwise. That went pretty fast. Let's see. Yeah. Oh no, there's a little thing on the bottom in there. No, I guess it's not completely. It looks like it is all the way up to the first hit. Once you get the first hit, you are vulnerable. So this hitbox view, by the way, if you really want to take the game seriously, familiarize yourself with this. So the hitboxes are basically the data behind the game. The green boxes are you, and if you get hit, you have to hit the green boxes. The red, you see the red on his fist? That's damaging other opponents. So if the red touches the green, you get hit. If your red touches their green, then that's good, because they get hit. But if their red touches your green, then that's no good, no bueno. Now there's a bunch of other stuff. So like the purple boxes are actually the physical like locations of the characters, so the way they can't walk into each other. And there's some nuance to it. Oh, then the gray box there is if there's an attack. Let me make a Ryu do one. If there's an attack and you hold back, you can't move, you go into a guard stance. That's what that little gray bar on the bottom is for. That's the range for what we call proximity guard. So if I'm out here and that's not hitting me, it doesn't matter. I can still move backwards. But if I'm close, it makes me pause there to guard. So again, that's called proximity guard. And all moves have it. And projectiles, you'll see, travels with them. If there is a move that doesn't have it, that's a glitch. For the most part. So, let's see. What else do we have? We got Rising Tackle. Went through Crack Shoot. I did Burn Knuckle EX. I did Power Dunk. I did Power Charge. I think that might be it for special attacks. Alright, so online, there's a question in the chat about online. Right now, we're working on internal online netcode. But until then, you can try using Parsec. So there is, in the game, I'll show you. They'll tell you where to go. I'll go over this too after. So if you go to parsecgaming.com, you can download a Windows desktop app that's called Parsec, and basically what it does is it acts like you're streaming, like I'm doing right now, except the other person that's viewing can plug their controller in and play the game. Now it's not perfect, and the internet's got to be kind of good for it to work out okay, but it works surprisingly well. It really does. And until we get built-in netcode up and running, like we've experimented with it, and we're getting there. But it's quite an endeavor, and it's taken some time. So that'll be for like the next demo down the road. But until then, Parsec actually works surprisingly well. Like I said, there's obviously some drawbacks. You do have to have good connection. You really shouldn't have too much distance between you and the other person. And I tried it with Tim. Now Tim's in Europe and I'm in the United States, and it did quite run too well. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, do you have the link? You type exclamation point Pocket Fighter EX, you get the download link if you haven't seen it already. Just hot off the presses. It's 12:28. It's 28 minutes. It's only been live for 28 minutes. Oh, Kenny's already beating me up here. So yeah, give it a shot. We've been using it to test with Parsec, and it actually works reasonably well, as long as you don't have too much distance between you. It's not bad. It's actually not bad. Yeah, you'll have to configure it too, so I always set it to the lowest settings, because like this is a pixel game, man. You don't need like 1080p quality on the game. You can set it down to like 720. I think that's as low as it goes, and it decreases your latency if you don't have as much resolution going through. So that's what I would recommend. I would put it at the highest frame rate it'll let you, and put it at the lowest resolution, which I believe is 720. And that'll probably give you the best results. And just to make sure, so you know where this is, if they need to change their controls, player 2 needs to change their controls, you can go here. And then once you're in this menu, player 2's in control. And then they can do their stuff out of common courtesy, right? So I'm not going to change now because there's no reason to, but I would bring them here right away once they connect in, because they'll be seeing your screen basically. It'll be like they're sitting next to you. It's almost like couch co-op through the internet. This is pretty cool. Parsec's pretty cool. You know, when you don't have an alternative, hey, it's always there for you. It works on anything, not just Pocket Fighter. It works on any desktop game that you have, which is actually pretty amazing. So give that a shot. All right, we got more Terry stuff. Oh, Terry's got a lot of moves. Terry's got a lot of moves. Let me tell you, we're not done yet. There's a lot of stuff to go over. Terry's got more special moves than any other character in the game. And he probably will have more special moves than anybody that we even add, because, damn, Terry's got a lot of moves. He's had so many moves throughout the years. You could easily double the amount. I mean, look, Terry came from Fatal Fury, right? And that was, what, 91, I think? Yeah, 1991. Look, Terry needs no introduction, right? he's the Fatal Fury man. He's the SNK man. You know, and while, yeah, the Fatal Fury series is dormant, you know, he lived on. Like, he's one of the most, if not the most popular character in King of Fighters. Like, everybody knows Terry. Nobody plays Fatal Fury anymore, but everybody knows Terry, right? Come on. No introduction needed. But yeah, man, he's had so many moves throughout the years, you could easily double the moveset. But look at this. He's got Burnt Knuckle, he's got Power Wave, Round Wave. Hold on. Calm down, Ken. Calm down. Let's make him guard. He's got Crack Shoot. He's got Power Charge. He's got Power Dunk. Rising Tackle. Like, come on, man. Terry don't need no more moves, right? But there are more. So, Terry's got Power Geyser, 2 levels, like I said. He's got, we'll let him get hit by this. He's got Buster Wolf, level 2, and level 3 versions. So, okay, Terry's got a lot of special moves, but he doesn't have that many supers. He's only got his 2 supers, right? Well, this is where Power Max comes in. For other characters, Power Max gives them either an altered special move or something like that. Does he have the Dashing Elbow? No, he doesn't. That was actually... it's kind of like Power Charge. It works kind of the same way, where you would have that 3-hit combo. So instead I chose to put Power Charge in and let you do special move cancels out of it, like Power Charge usually lets you do. So I felt that they were basically the same move, and I chose to use this one instead. Now you can also use Power Geyser from it, just a note. Even the level 3. Yeah, it's tough because Terry's had so many moves. Like, literally, he's probably got, like, at least 15 special moves throughout all the Fatal Fury games and all the KOF games. Like, it's nuts. He's got everything. He's literally got everything. So it was really hard to whittle it down to the ones, you know, to use. And even, like, his command moves. So we've got the backspin kick. We've got his uppercut that he can use in the target combo. But he's also... got the back fist, which I made that special cancelable, so you can do whatever you want out of that. You can do lots of stuff with that. So yeah, so Terry's got a lack of super moves to sort of compensate for the fact that he's got more special moves than anybody else. And it usually seems to be how KOF has treated it. But now with Power Max mode, characters get a change. They either get an altered special move or a new special move or something like that. You could think of it more like a V-trigger in some respects. So Terry's weakness is the fact that he doesn't have as many super moves, right? So he has a special super move, Power Stream, which he's had in KOF 2003, maybe Neo Wave? I haven't played Neo Wave, but it's in 11. Yeah, I think it's in KOF 11 as well. So, Power Stream. He can only use it in max mode, Power Max mode, and you have to use 3 bars with it. So, you can combo into it, And it does a hell of a lot of damage. But there's a secret to it. It not only can do a lot of damage, but it can also pick someone up off the ground. It won't do quite as much damage when you do that, but if they're close to dead at the end of the round, oh, I didn't get close enough for that. Oh, I messed it up. But let's see. Nope, not close enough. I wasn't quick enough. He could have rolled out of that. He could have blocked out of that. Actually, is what I mean. Alright, to make it easier on me, we'll put him in the corner. Say, he's almost dead. It's like the end of the round. You got him. Like, clean shot. Another useful bit of tech is forward grab. Gives you enough time to get him. But it only works in a corner. So if you forward grab here, they go too far away. But in the corner, you've got them. Now the back grab does not work. They can roll out of it quick. Okay, he set the randomize whether he gets up quick or not. But if he does get up quick, he can block it. So he did get hit there only because the AI determined that it wanted to wait to wake up. But see how he rolled there? If he blocked after he rolled, he would have been fine. So they can recover too quick for the back grab to get him. And the forward grab goes too far out in the open, but again, if you're in the corner... Oh, you gotta do the command right. It's down, back, punch. Then you got him. Like, that's it, you win. If they're low enough, of course. So that you wanna close out the round with Terry, that's how you do it. So it also, of course, does pretty good damage when you don't use it in that capacity. Like, really good damage. Power Guys is pretty close, but it's still not as much. And then Buster Wolf, I think, is the it's the technically the weakest super move that Terry has, but by no means is it weak. So there you go. You can do a lot with Terry. So Power Max, if you haven't been following, allows you to cancel attacks. As long as you're in the air. Can't do it, or I mean, as long as you're underground, can't do it in the air. So there, doesn't work. But here, does work. And it's heavy punch and heavy kick at the same time. I'll turn on the view so you can see that. You can do it on specials, you can do it on crouching, trips, everything. Except for supers. You cannot do it on supers. And of course, not when you're in the air. So, special moves that take you into the air, like crack shoot, you can't do it. But Bro Knuckle does. So you can use it for two things. You can use it to make something safe that normally wouldn't be. Let's see. Say, like, I did this. Whoa, shit. Nope. Get out of there. Or, oh, I got him. Gives you enough time to see what happened. Now you can do it without canceling it, and you get more time in Power Max, where your power is heightened, you do more damage. And for Terry, specifically for that third super. But if you do it off a cancel, you do, it does drain faster, so you have less time to use it. But for Terry, that's more than enough. So there's two sides to that coin. Armor Max mode. You hold back, heavy punch, heavy kick. Now you got armor mode. So what does armor mode do? Gives you armor. Now, Ken kind of jumped there, so it's not the best example, but yeah, if I get it early, his backspin kick now has armor on it, where normally it doesn't. You get knocked out. So every character gets one command normal, or unique move, whichever you want to call it. KO calls it command normal, Street Fighter calls it unique. that now has armor on it. And for Terry, it's the backspin kick. The other ones don't. They're still vulnerable. Only the backspin kick gets the armor. And it's pretty useful. And that, in fact, just to show the other property of the backspin kick, it does have another use. So if I set Terry to throw a power wave, you can get over any ground projectile. So like not a Hadouken, but a ground projectile. If you're close quarters and you think they're gonna do something like that, or you're close enough, boom. So power burn knuckle may be too slow in that situation. You want to use this. It also, because it lifts you off the ground when you jump, you can't max cancel it because of that. But say if someone wants to grab you, you're grab invulnerable because you've hopped up in the air. That is not the case for burn knuckle. You're going to stand there and you're going to do that pose and you're going to get grabbed. But here, I think it's grab invulnerable in frame 5. So if you think someone's going to wake up grab, or you get in someone's face, think they're gonna grab, or you want to fake them out and you want to say like you want to pretend to tick throw them, but instead you do this and then this. They can't grab you during that, and they'll get hit. Or when a grappler eventually gets in the game, like say, and I'm not gonna say that Zangief's gonna make it in the game, but he's a good example. When you get Zangief pressured, or like if you got him on the ground and you're right next to him and you're gonna look like you're gonna set up some kind of meaty thing, he might wake up super grab, or he might wake up EX grab, and this will protect you from that. You'll go right through it because he'll hop up in the air and then boop, you got you. So that's very useful for that. And let's see, that might be almost it. We're gonna change to Ryu, or well, change the opponent to Ryu, and I'll show you there's a cancel for armor max, and all the characters can do the cancels. So both Ken and Ryu can also do that. That's just a system mechanic. So there's a cancel for armor max, but it's while blocking. It's push block. Unfortunately, no. Morgan is not planned to be added. I want to keep the scope to more like a Street Fighter versus King of Fighters kind of aesthetic to it. So I feel that Morgan's outside of that, kind of like in the supernatural realm. So that doesn't really fit with the goals I have for the game. I know I get that question a lot because she was in Match of the Millennium, but it doesn't hurt to ask. So push block, if you hold back and, to do the armor max, you hold back and press heavy punch, heavy kick. If you do that while you're blocking an attack, you'll send them back. And so that works with any attack, supers, everything. So what armor max does, it allows you to you don't get chip block, or chip block. You don't get chip damage when you block. If you notice, Terry's not taking any damage from the Shoryuken. But in here, see, he takes a little bit of damage from that special attack. Now, if Ryu throws a Shinko Hadouken at you, and it might chip you out, on the first hit, just push block it. And you can continue to hold back and you will still block the whole thing, but the projectile won't be able to chip you out. So it can save you at the end of a round if it's really close. Now there is a caveat with the projectiles that you can't really push a projectile back. So Terry, he's set to a projectile. You can just kind of swat it away, but it doesn't push the other character back. Because just like before, projectiles don't push you away from the opponent so much that like a punch would. or a kick pushes you away. Projectiles don't do that because you're contacting with the projectile. You're not contacting with the other fighter. So same thing with that. That you don't get pushed away when you do the projectile, but it will save you from being chipped out by a super projectile. So it still has its uses there. You can always roll through projectile if you want. So there's that. And that is if you're running, you press light punch, light kick, you'll roll. Only while running. You can buffer it in too. So if you do like a double tap forward, you can do that. So when you're not running, that does grab. When you're running, you can't grab. So it does the roll. And you can only roll forward. You can backdash. Double tap back, double tap forward runs. And each character has their own backdash speed and distance and all that, and the roll speed and distance and all that. So there's a little nuance there. So let's see, I think that's pretty much it. Now, Armor Max also does give you a defense boost, and I think you build a little more meter on block when you block incoming attacks. And so there's kind of all these passive traits to the Power Max and the Armor Max. How to reset during training mode? There's actually if you go to the configuration, the button configuration, there's actually a button for that. It may not be set by default, especially if you use like a direct input controller. You probably have to change your controller settings when you start it. But it's its own dedicated button. In fact, I'll show it. So go to options, and so down on the bottom there's reset pause. This stands for reset position. So that's for that. So that resets your position. If you're at the edge of the screen, the characters don't get shifted quite all the way, so you might have to hit it twice. I usually just double tap it. I'll fix that later. So whatever you're doing, it'll reset them back to the beginning. I love that. Like, I don't know why a lot of fighters don't seem to have that kind of thing. Or they hide it in the menu, and it's like, no, give a button for it. It makes it so much easier. So it's like, oh, I'm doing this cool combo. Ah, shoot, I screwed it up. Alright, let's try again. You know what I mean? Until you get it right. And it refills all your meter and stuff, too. So it's perfect for practicing. Eventually, what I want to do is, like, if you hold left and do it, then it'll set you in the corner on the left. Or if you hold right and do it, it'll set you in the corner on the right. But I'm going to work through that kind of quality of life changes as kind of the next milestone for the project. This one was all about, this last update is all about gameplay changes. Like, the gameplay's way more solid than it was, like, not even close. The last demo is not even the same game, as far as I'm concerned. Every single move in the game has been reanimated. All the hitboxes, every single move, everything was redone completely. All the damage was rebalanced. All the meter gain was rebalanced. The controls were rebalanced. Yeah, in fact, if you're a Street Fighter player, you might know what this is. But KOF players, I don't think you have this. It's called negative edge. Now pay attention to the top right here. So normally you do, your down forward, stop it for you. You do your down forward punch, and then you get your power wave, right? But Street Fighter has this thing called negative edge. So if I press and hold the button down, I'm not releasing it. I'll release it after the motion. I'll do the motion and then release it. And the special move comes out. It's called negative edge. Street Fighter has had it, I think, all the way since 2. I know Super Turbo's had it. It might have been added somewhere along in the 2 line. But it's been there for a long time. Now the benefit of this is you can press hold down, and you only have to press the button once to do this combo. You press it once to get this move. Then you hold the button, roll the joystick forward, and let go of the button. And now you see there's only one punch up there registered. It's because the release counts as a button too. And it makes getting some stuff a little bit easier. So Street Fighter has always had that. Now King of Fighters I don't believe has had that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember it. I know 14 doesn't have it because I tried it on 14 and I'm like, oh yeah, of course it's not there. But I've added it in basically for the Street Fighter players. Now you can play it where you press it twice. That's fine. It really doesn't affect much. You can play it like normal if you really want to. Let's do that to get the combo. But you know, it's there. If you're used to it, it's there. Think of it as a quality of life setting. Now you can't negative edge a normal, so you can't hold down punch and then release it to get punch. The normals and command normals don't do it. It's only for special moves. So, right there. Like, it's really good for charge stuff. Boom. Oh, that ain't. Didn't link it in time. There you go. So see, I did 2 punch moves. I did this and Rising Tackle's punch move. But I didn't need to do that second punch. I just let go of the punch when I press up. And for me, it's easier to time some stuff like that. Some Street Fighter players really rely on that kind of thing for some of their stuff. It's also like if you want to do a projectile. Like say you want to lock them in with projectiles like this, and you got to time it. If you hold the button and roll it forward, you get that, right? So if I do it too early, what happens? Whoop! I did it too early. The projectile's still on the screen, and you're gonna get a punch. But you can't negative edge a normal, right? So if you do that here, hold on, get closer. Or sorry, farther away. Oh, oh, that's a fast one. See, I let go. I didn't get anything, so it doesn't leave me vulnerable if I negative edge that projectile. I can sit here and talk about negative edge techniques all day, but I guess we'll move on for that. If you check any like Street Fighter tutorial about negative edge, it's the same thing. You can apply that, all that kind of stuff. That's the basic thing of what it's used for. It just makes some combos a little easier to do, and you know, you can put a little safety net on some situations. So anyway, that aside, let's see, what else we have to go through with Terry? That might be it, actually. I think so. I think we got everything. Got Burn Knuckle, Crack Shoot, Rising Tackle, Power Dunk, talked about the Hard Knockdown, High Angle Geyser, EX Crack Shoot, EX Burn Knuckle, got the armor on the EX Power Charge. It's got the wall bounce. Let's see, what else we got? Rising Tackle EX, just that. I think that's it. I think. Terry's got so many damn moves, I keep forgetting them. And then, of course, Power Geyser, Buster Wolf, and Power Max only Power Charge. Or not Power Charge, Power Stream. Everything's Power. Power Wave, Power Charge, Power Stream, Power Geyser, the whole deal. So that's pretty much it. I mean, Terry's got a lot of stuff, man. He's got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of... Yeah, let's turn that off. He's got a lot of moves. So, let's recap with Terry. And show off a couple combos. Boom! Now that didn't use all 3 bars, but it was cool as hell. It carried them from one side to the other. Most of the characters can do that kind of thing. Let's see, there's... Well, this one's good too. Oh, I don't know. This one's a little trickier. Oh, missed it. That was tough. There we go. How about that? That one's cool. I like that one. Only 2 bars. If I do... Oh, gotta run forward at the right time. Oh. And then, of course, that's a hard knockdown, so you can set up your next thing with it. So Terry's got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of cool, fun stuff. He's got a lot of good stuff, even if you've only got 1 bar to work with. Because he can get anything out of that EX power charge. And just remember, the EX power charge only really works when you're near the corner. If you're out in the middle of nowhere, you're not going to get anything. I mean, you'll knock him away, and that's cool too. You know, if you need to escape the corner, especially. It's like, boom, okay, I'm free. Get out of jail. But for comboing, you want to make sure that you're near the corner. Yeah, so only 2 punches and kicks. So it's SNK style controls. So light punch, heavy punch, light kick, heavy kick. And then grab is light kick, heavy kick. Or I mean, I'm sorry, light kick, light punch. And then power max is heavy punch, heavy kick. And then armor max is holding back and then heavy punch. So those are your max downs. And of course, if you do an EX move, you have to use both the buttons. So round wave, for example, it's the power wave motion, but with 2 buttons gives you that. So you got the 4 buttons to work with. So pretty much, you know, same setup that Match of the Millennium had. The original Neo Geo Pocket SNK versus Capcom. Now it worked a little bit interestingly in on the Neo Geo Pocket, and I'm looking at it right here. I got it on my desk because they only had 2 buttons. So in the original, there was a punch button and a kick button. You would hold the punch button down to get the heavy punch, and you would tap it to get the light punch, which was interesting. But that makes it you're unable to do like EX attacks and stuff. So I decided to adopt the 4 button, you know, like console version King of Fighters style to do that. That way we can have EX attacks and all sorts of stuff. And then you have dedicated light and heavy buttons, so it makes combos just a little bit more easy to do. You don't have to worry about tapping and holding and all that stuff. It feels a little more precise, so I did decide to upgrade it, if you will, in that way. So that's pretty much it for Terry. I mean, he's powerhouse, man. Oh, no. It's me not completing my motions. Just like a scrub. So, I like it. He came out really good, I thought. He was very interesting to work on. Terry's very strange, very unorthodox. It's not at all like Ken and Ryu, to be completely honest. Like, his design is just completely different. Like, for instance, Ken and Ryu can cancel off their crouching lights, but Terry can't. He can cancel off of this. Can't cancel off this, but Ken and Ryu. Well, Ken can cancel off a standing light kick, Ryu cannot. So there's a lot of differences between characters. But Terry's standing light kick, look at the range, man. Like, you're just keeping him in check all day long. Boom, boom. Harass. He's got really nice long normals. Look at that. Look at that. They're harass all day long. When they come in, just shields up, man. Terry's too much fun. I swear to God, he's too much fun. He's really good. Oh, wrong one. Let's see. What do I want to do? Yeah. That might be. Nah, you're not close enough. If you're close enough, you can max cancel that. But out in the wild, out in the open, you're not gonna get that. You've got to go too far. You can set up for a Buster Wolf though. And it just does respectable damage. I mean, yeah, you're using all bars on the max, but it does respectable damage. So there is that. So that pretty much wraps up Terry, I think. I'll go over the changes that I made to the general combat system and the other characters too. But I think that pretty much sums him up. He's a powerhouse, man. He's really a powerhouse. So let's see. We went through the training options, went through the hitboxes, attack data, all that stuff. So yeah, let's check out Ryu. Ryu got some changes. Well, we got some big changes. We'll pull up Ken here, and we'll check out different stages. So we'll go Asaka. I think this one rotated in when I did a random, but just to show it again. I really love this. This one came from Match of the Millennium. Most of the stages came from the Neo Geo Pocket Color games. Of course, we got to format them for the widescreen, and you know the stages are a bit bigger in this game. But oh, I love that. That's fun. That's the fun shit right there. But we did add some parallax scrolling to the stages. It's kind of a work in progress, so some have them, some don't. But they're all gonna have it eventually, if it's appropriate, obviously. But I like the stage, all the flashing lights and all that. I studied the patterns from the Neo Geo Pocket one, and yeah, it's good. It's cool. I like it. It's one of my favorite stages. Just I don't know. I like flashing lights. All right, shiny things. Leave me alone. So, what changed with Ryu? Well, obviously, like I said before, all the characters got reanimated. So Ryu's Shoryukens look better. His Tatsus look better. He's got all his classic moves. Hadokens have less recovery now. So if someone jumps in, you have more of a chance to get them out of it. Now, if they know it's coming, of course, they're gonna go right over it, and that's why I picked Ken, because he's got that. So if I'm dumb and I keep spamming it, he'll go right over it. And I suppose that spoils the surprise of what's Ken's new move. What's his changes? Well, he's got the Street Fighter V Tatsu for his heavy Tatsu, and it works basically the same way. So it can go over fireballs and punish people. Hey, what's up, Raito? You made it after all. Yeah, I know, really. I can't believe it's finally out. Oh my god. Everybody's probably like, holy crap. It took that long to do all this? Yeah, Ken had a lot of interesting changes in Street Fighter V, and there's a few that I ported over into this, and that's one of them. Because I feel like, you know, Ken wants to get in. He's a very close fighter. Oh, roll? Oh, everybody's got a roll. Ken's not the only one to roll. Everybody got roll. Everybody got roll, baby. It's not just Ken. Everybody's got a roll. Yeah, it's like CVS 2. The roll comes from the King of Fighters series, so I adopted the properties that it uses for that. Now the input's a little different. You do have to be running, and then you press light punch and light kick, and then you'll go into the roll. Because we only got so many buttons to work with, and that was the direction that I took that. Because there's only a forward roll, it doesn't, you know, you're pressing forward to run anyway, right? So it kind of works on that level. And then you can buffer it in if you double tap and press the buttons, you'll, with the right timing, you'll get it instantly after the attack. So then see, and now I can punish it. Oh yeah, no, there's 3 on 3. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you got that impression. Oh, there's 3 on 3, baby. Of course there's 3 on 3. Of course. All right, let me get the second controller here. Make it easy on myself. Oh yeah, of course there's 3 on 3. What are you talking about? Why would I not have 3 on 3? It's gotta be like CVS 2, man. CVS 2 is one of the major inspirations for this. True love we making. That's right, baby. True love we making. So if you go into versus mode, you can see you got the portraits up on top, the whole deal. So obviously, I'm playing against myself, so, you know, it just is what it is, but I guess I can show Ken off a little bit, since we'll have to beat up 3 opponents. So he does have a Street Fighter V Tatsu. His light Tatsu is traditional. CVS 3 one day. I hope so, man. I hope so. So you were talking about Street Fighter V. Oh, he's dead now. Ken's crazy kicks are back. Long story short, Ken's crazy kicks are back. They've been gone too long. They've been gimped too long. They're back. All 3 of them. And you do get the overheads. Which I'll show that more in the training mode because there's more to it. They are special inputs. You can cancel from them. Or into them. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, Smash did bring him back. You're right. I was really happy about that. Now it's not the same commands, so I'll go over that. Let me just get through this. So there you go. There's your team mode. It's fully functional. The only thing I don't have in yet, and I'm gonna be working on that, and for the next update, is being able to change your team order after you've selected it. You can use a fight stick in Smash, but you do sacrifice your walking, so you can't do tilts, because if you're holding the joystick and you go all the way with it, like, you can still walk. How do you still walk? All right, this I gotta know. I want to play Smash with a stick. When I tried it, it would only let me run. Unless you like whiffed an attack and then turn off tap to jump, hold up and slide to the left. Really? Okay, I never thought of that. Now that's interesting. Hold up and slide to the left or right. Now that's interesting. All right, I'm gonna have to try that. I'm seriously gonna have to try that. That sounds amazing. I do have Smash Ultimate too. I'm gonna try that later. I really am. Alright, let's finish up reuse changes quick, and I do want to show you the crazy kicks. There's a lot to them, and in fact that's one of Ken's focus points. There's a lot of crazy shit you can do with them. Well, let me tell you. Well, we'll get through Ryu quick. So Ryu's, he still got his target combo. Most of the stuff hasn't changed too much. But the biggest change for Ryu is Kaku Fubatsu. Now, in the last version, the 0.2.2, it was an automatic move. So it just, you activated it and it just worked. You whispered the video? Cool, thanks. So it worked like this. But you don't have to use it. You can stock it. So see the little energy ball that appeared next to his max meter? That means you have it stocked. And you can bring it out whenever you want. You just got to spend those bars first. You spend 2 bars first, and you've got it. Oh, you got to have the right timing, or it's not going to come out right. Oh, that is a way messed up input. There we go. Oh, too early. Damn. No, not a freebie. And then you get a crumple out of it. I'll let him fall down so you can see. Oh my god. It's that Tatu's that freaking startup, man. There you go. So he crumples, and you've got a chance to do some stuff there. So here's the deal. It only costs 2 bars, right? And you can build your bars up in the meantime. Like, notice that. Like, I used 2 to activate, but they fill back up. Oh, we're in training mode, of course they fill back up, but you can start to fill them back up. You can hold on to that thing. It will dissipate between rounds, so you have to use it within that round. But other than that, you can wait. You can wait on it. There's no time limit on using it. So here's the deal. It only takes 2 bars, right? It's that friggin' Tatsu, he's throwing me off. Alright. So you can use an additional 1 bar super. So you have to do down, back, punch to activate it. Down, back, punch to bring the thing out. And if it hits... It's killing me here. Then you do another double down, back, and then a punch, and you'll get the additional follow-up. So that sort of makes it a 2 and 3 bar at the same time. It was sort of the compromise, because there's no 3 bar equivalent of loading the Kaku Fubatsu. It's an install sort of kind of thing. Like, not really an install. You get what I mean. Like, you load it up, and then you can use it later. So you can spend that additional bar at the end if you want to get the full thing. But if you're willing to do the extra work, you can do a lot more with a combo. Because you can do all sorts of things with wall bounces and all sorts of shit. So there's a lot you can play around with that in, and that's pretty much it for Kaku Fubatsu. That was the biggest change, and it is a huge change. And that changes Ryu's whole dynamic. You put this on, and all of a sudden your opponent's like, well shit, I don't want to throw anything out there. He's just gonna get it. He's gonna eat it up. So adds another layer to Ryu's gameplay. Now, just like before, you do have Denjin Hadokens. I'll turn off Ken's jump in there. Does a lot of stun. Look at the stun up there. Does a lot of stun when you charge him up. So part of Ryu's game plan is getting that dizzy. So you can max cancel, throw it out there, or charge it up. Charge it up all the way, you get a lot. Now here's the deal. They can obviously block these, right? And then an EX gives you an automatic charge, like midway charge one. They can't block the full charge. So just like Street Fighter V, oh, I'm trying to get this combo. This combo's a little tough. The timing is tough for this. For that, yeah. So, yeah. You can run up, and you can get, well, if you get the combo right, you can get it. Now this can lead to some interesting things, but remember, everybody's got to roll. So if you just get up in someone's face and start doing this, they're gonna roll right behind you, and then you're completely open, right? Sort of. You can get out of it. You backdash, he'll stop charging and kind of fake out. And you can do it on the EX too. So if they think, oh, he spent the meter for the EX, I'm gonna get him, right? Nope, you can still backdash out of that and then get a punish in or whatever. So let's see if I can try to create a situation. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Act like I'm gonna do it. Then he does his Tatsu to get over it, and then you can punish. Boom. He's thinking, oh, he's gonna either be standing there or he's gonna shoot me with it. I'm gonna go over it with a Tatsu. No, you're not. Oh. Didn't do it fast enough there. Thinks, oh, I got him? No. No, you don't. Get out of here. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do with that. And the same thing goes for when they're blocking. They think, oh, he's going to continue the combo. No, I'm not. I mean, I will after I guard break you. You can make it more convincing. Look at that. He's over. He's half down. I used 1 bar of EX. Guard broke him. Reset, which is a reset. It resets your combo because they fell out of the combo. But the trick here is you got to make them believe that you're going to do it. So you're thinking, oh, he's gonna go for this. If it hit, I mean, you can get it. He's gonna go for that combo, right? And yeah, I could. Yeah, hold on. Let's just start from here. And that does decent damage. Okay, that's like, what, a third? But with the reset, now look at that. Now he's down by a half, or maybe even more if I didn't, if that one hit didn't get blocked. If the crouching heavy punch didn't get blocked, it would have been more. You can, if you got super to use, you know, you can do it. Boom, gotcha. Get out of here. So there's a lot of tricky stuff you can do. Or they think you're gonna do something, you can also still backdash. So like, oh, they're onto your tricks, right? You can still backdash and then do something else. You've got a lot of interesting trickery you can do with Ryu. And his goal is to get that dizzy. Get the dizzy or get the guard break. Either way, you're getting punished. And look at this combo. Oh. Look at the dizzy on that. Look at that stun. 3/4 stun. It's because the dungeons do extra stun. Look how much this does. Just charging it up like that. Look at that. Charge it up all the way. Look at that. Yeah. That's why when they see you charging, now they got decisions to make. Because nothing they do is gonna be a pleasant experience. It's not. I was gonna say, I guess I didn't even show the supers. It's not fun. Not fun for your opponent. It's like, okay, what's gonna happen? I mean, I can roll, but is he gonna backdash and punish that? What's he gonna do? Yeah, to be clear, I don't think I touched on this. Come on, do the roll when I want you to. Let's put him in the corner. The rolls are safe from melee attacks. See how he rolled through that? I can't hit him, not even with a sweep. What I can do is grab him out of rolls. And that goes for these ones too. They're completely grab vulnerable. You can go through a punch, but if they get a hint that you're gonna do a roll, come on, do a roll. There you go, boom. He was rolling, he got caught. Now if you stand up neutral, I'll have him hit me for that. If you stand up neutral, you can't be grabbed until you stand completely up. But if you roll, that's grab vulnerable. If they think you're gonna grab, or if they think you're gonna roll, they're gonna grab. If they know what they're doing. So that was cool. The stereo going on there. So that's part of the. I like that. That's part of the wake up game here. So there's two things you can do when you wake up. You can... Yeah, let me put it back on. You can just sit there. You can just wait it out. You hold the button, you get it faster. So without button, holding a button, you get it faster. That was with button. But when you're knocked down, double tap right. You roll right. Double tap left. You roll left. Hold the button down, double tap right. You roll right faster. And vice versa. Hold the button, double tap left. You roll left. So the wake up game is different than you might be typically used to. You've got more options. You've got Street Fighter 4's delayed wake up. You've got KOF's. Well, KOF doesn't have rolling forward, but it does have rolling back from a recovery. And so like Street Fighter 5 has some rolling back stuff, but doesn't go that far. But KOF's goes pretty far. So I added a roll forward as well. I like recovery options. And I think BlazBlue does that too. They've got the roll forward and back, I believe. I think Eunice does. I haven't played Eunice in a long time, so they might and might not. But I think Eunice has a roll forward and back too. But to balance it out, at least in this game, if you roll, you're grab vulnerable. So if they think you're going to do it, sure, you're going to get through this, but you're not going to get through that. Especially if you're in the corner, if you roll back, you're just sitting there waiting to be grabbed, you know? Boom. You know? Now let me turn this kicks off. So when you're in the corner, now it's dangerous. Boom. Get back in the corner. Nope, get back in the corner. You know, you gotta watch. You gotta watch to see what they're gonna do. Think they're gonna roll? Hit him. Just grab him. Boom, he rolled backwards. No, I don't think so. Nope, don't think so. See, but I tried to immediate. He got through it because he rolled. So it's a little bit of you know, reading the opponent, figuring out what they're gonna do, and they can roll back and forth. So there's a bit more reading there when you're out in the open. They could do a bunch of stuff. See, he was safe there because he rolled back. Especially if you get like knocked down like this, where he wants to come in. Well, what is he gonna do though? You don't know. Whoop! Well, now you got through you. You can't just stop on a dime. You do have a little bit of a delay when you stop, so you have to time your grab careful if you're gonna try to run in. There's a lot to think about for that, and so that's one of the things that changed. So before, when you got knocked down, you only had the hold left or right, but that's no longer the case. And the reason is because now there's the other controller turned off. I've been using it. There's charge characters. So if I'm Guile and I'm holding down back, he would roll backwards. Maybe I don't want to roll backwards, but I do want to charge my boom and I do want to charge my flash kick. So I changed it. The solution we came up with is when you're on the ground, just double tap. There you go. That's it. That's all there is to it. If you want to get up quick, you hold the button. And then you can combine that, the get up quick, with the knockdown. Or the roll recovery, with the double tap. So mastering that is going to make or break whether you live or die in this game. If you don't know about the roll on wake up, and it's in the command list. So hopefully nobody misses it, but it's right here. So the quick stand, hold any of those, and then the roll when on the ground. Remember, you can combine them. So you can get up quick and roll. Just gotta hold the button down. That's it. That's all there is to it. So it's a little different, but if you don't know your wake-up options, you're gonna get trampled. So let's see. That's pretty much it for Ryu. Oh, Shin Shoryuken. You can now combo. Stop that, Ken. You can now combo Ah, come on! Yeah, you can do that. You could not do that in the previous version. So you've got more options with Shinshoryu. You could do that. But if you're that close, man... Oh, wrong button. Oh, man. When I'm holding forward, I'm getting this. I'm not pressing the diagonal down to get this yet, or the straight down. It's all a timing thing. Oh no, come on! Oh no, and then I missed the Shoryu. Oh my god. Oh, come on, come on, come on! Oh, come on! Even with negative edge? I should be getting this like nothing. Alright, look, I barely slept. That's my excuse. I slept 2 hours. You gotta give me a break, right? Oh, come on, I did it before. Alright, let's try it from the other side, right? I just can't do it from that side, right? Oh, I can't do shit from this side. Holy crap. No, that's not gonna hit. Oh my god. I'm so terrible. I'm so terrible at my own goddamn game. I made it, right? So I should be the master. That's never the case. Most game designers are rarely the best players. There we go. And vice versa, some of the best players doesn't necessarily mean that you make the best designers. How about crafting an experience when you're a designer? If you can understand the game and you can understand the theoretical limits, then that's good. If you can't do that, then you're not going to be able to make a good game. But you don't have to be Daigo to make a fighting game. You have to understand what allows Daigo to do what he does. But it doesn't mean that you yourself have to be able to perform that kind of thing. So there's a bunch of shit in this game that I couldn't fathom to perform, at least regularly. Like, I got pretty good at this. With the... This one's not too hard. But if you miss this input, or if you do it too quick, you're not gonna get it. Or if you forget the... Or you hit the... Yeah, if you hit the punch too early, they can bounce out. This is really where the Power Max mode, that attack cancel, gets really interesting. When you have something like a DP that can hit them up in the air. Depending on the timing, can make or break the entire combo, but if you're quick enough, you get the right timing. Look, I was able to get that now. And you can extend the combo. It's better, I guess, to show it in this capacity, where that didn't go quite as planned, but you get the idea, right? Let's do... Oh, there we go. We'll do a normal jump. So, see, I was doing super jumps before. Well, the timing on super jumps are different. Oh, that would have hit, but I missed it. So there's a lot of nuance. Once you do that cancel, you're free to do anything you want, basically. You could run up and do something like that. You know what I mean? So there's a lot to consider with that. So that's what you should be thinking about. How can I use my maxes when I've got them? If I'm in the bind, I can punch block them. Okay, that wasn't a good example because Ken just keeps going. I mean, there are some moves that will just keep coming when you push block them because they move forward. So you do have to think about, you know, whether or not it's an effective strategy. But like, even if you're in the corner, let's say, turn that back on. Oh. Let's pretend that Ken's doing something that won't move forward. Oh, I'm doing it too early. Too early. There, boom. So that creates a little space, and then hopefully you can get out of the corner from there. Now again, Ken's Tatsu continues to move forward, so that's not a good example there. But say if like Ryu's just, you know, light punching or something. Oh yeah, I was gonna say that we do have the Discord server. The link is down below. Stop on in, and if our connection is good enough, then look, I got crappy Kentucky internet, so it might not work too well. Just a word of warning. But yeah, I made a matchmaking channel, so you can go in there and start hitting people up for it. It's gonna be great. Man, Ryu's got so much cool stuff. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I didn't know Max had a Discord. I guess, well, of course Max got a Discord. Why wouldn't Max have a Discord? Man, Ryu's got some nice stuff. He's really got some nice stuff. Oh, let's see. Oh, okay, so he don't run it, but you do for his community. That's cool. That's cool though. Yeah, Max has got a ton of. Max got crazy support. Like Max is so huge now. It's so great. Like what was it? It was 1 million. It was 1 million or 2 million. I think it was 1 million subs, and that was a few months back. It sounds like what he's saying is that there's a community Discord for the people who follow Max, but it doesn't sound like Max is in or manages it, I should say. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how I understood it. Oh, a Parsec? Oh, Parsec server. I'm sorry. Not Discord, a Parsec server. Okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood that. I guess I didn't know there were like servers for Parsec? I've always just made private rooms and invited people, but yeah, I guess if there's like whole extra stuff for it. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool too. Either way. Okay, I got you. Confusion has been quelled. So yeah, I was gonna say that another thing that's changed since the last, I believe this was not the case in the last thing. So here, watch this. That Shoryuken, the light one, should have been the end of the combo. Let's see. So the issue with fighting games and Parsec is that the host will not have input delay from playing online. That's true. So it's best to run. Oh, you can run a dedicated server. Okay, this I did not know. So that the GGPO can handle the delay? Alright, now you confused me, but this sounds great. You confused me, but I heard the word GGPO, now I'm really interested. Okay. If you've got time. If you've got time, what? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna need a rundown of this. If you've got time, like, hit me up with some details on that, or drop in our Discord server and hit me up, because I want to know all about that. I want to know how to set this up, because this sounds great. I'm sorry, there's no, oh, no, it did work, okay. I was gonna say, you can check the link down below. I forgot, I turned the bot back on. He does have a Discord thing. I was gonna say, I was about to say that I don't think that the bot will respond to that command, but he does. I forgot I put that in there. The bot's been kind of broken lately. I got him working again, but he don't work on Discord anymore. He only works on Twitch. So I'm glad that the command came through. Mark needs to take a breath. You know, like jeez, I just stutter and freaking out. And look, I had 2 hours of sleep. Give me a break. I'm dying here. Alright, so what I was gonna say is, normally the Shoryuken is the end of that combo. So you could do this, but the heavy won't hit. So you can, there's moves that cause juggle, and there's moves that can take advantage of juggle. When you do a max reset, you can do anything after that. So that's just by default. You just do whatever you want. Right? But notice that Crouching heavy punch doesn't set juggle. It does not juggle the opponent, therefore the Shoryuken cannot be followed up with it. But if you use an EX attack, it will juggle even if the juggle's been lost. So normally, you can't use 2 Shoryukens in a row because the juggle's lost at that point. The Shoryuken will not continue to juggle. It can take advantage of the juggle, but it won't continue to juggle. But the EXs will do what I call post-juggling. So if they had been juggled... that didn't work out too well, but... easiest way to do it is this. If they had been juggled, and you lost a juggle, the EX attacks will still take effect. Let's see. Yeah, it's probably too slow for that. Oops. Oh no, just enough time. Just like that. And so you can continue the juggle on past the juggle falling out if you use an EX attack. And I believe pretty much every EX attack can do it. There might be an exception here or there, but pretty much every EX attack is designed to be able to continue to juggle. And actually, Ryu's charged Denjin Hadokens also have that same effect, as you can see there. They reset the juggle. To make it even more obvious, that wouldn't be possible with a move that can't continue the juggle. So this, in effect, is the charged version of that, is in effect kind of like a mini EX. It has that property. Not every attack can do that. So there's a lot to consider there. So like here, that sets the juggle, but crouching heavy punch can't juggle. It cannot take advantage of a juggle. So you could do this, but you're not going to get that. That's why you have to use the Shoryuken. Oh, I didn't get close enough. So that's kind of a rundown of how the juggling works. Now I didn't like peek into the code or anything, but it kind of seems like Alpha 2 sort of runs on the same kind of rules. That there are attacks that will cause a juggle to happen. Like a Tatsu. Like Akuma's Tatsu, he does a light Tatsu and then he can follow it up with a Shoryuken. But it's only because the Tatsu sets the opponent into a juggle state that can then be taken advantage by the Shoryuken. But the Shoryuken can't juggle, otherwise you would be able to do 2 Shoryukens. Yeah, I was gonna say, Alpha 3 is a little different, I think. It's hits on counter set for juggles. Oh, I didn't know that. Did not know that. That's not the case in this game. So in this one, certain moves like the Tatsu will set a juggle flag. And then other moves like the Shoryuken can take advantage of that juggle flag. So yeah, you could say that like the Tatsu's a launcher in a way. Well, if you're on the ground, you're not going to be able to do anything because you can't stand and do something else in time. Hey, thanks! I know, it's a long time coming, right? I'm like super hyped. I'm thinking like, oh man, I'm gonna be dead on stream. I like slept 2 hours. Like, no, I'm freaking hyped, man. I'm way hyped. It's not as reliable since you can air tech it, yeah, if you know what you're doing. Yeah, so there's no air teching in the game, at least not at this point. It's something to consider, but I don't know. I thought about it, and I kind of like the more, I don't know. Because I guess like the Street Fighter 4 and 5 approach, they don't let you do that kind of stuff. I thought air teching was cool, but it was kind of whack at the same time. I don't know if you feel what I'm saying. So I kind of, at least right now, I feel that it's, yeah, it's weird. So I feel that, like, KOF didn't have it either, so it's, like, I figured not to have it in this one. It didn't seem to fit with the game plan, so to speak. If that makes sense. supers also can do this post juggling. So if you do this, oh, wrong timing. Oh. I was gonna say I was gonna make it a little more fancy. Damn it! I didn't get the super jump. So, oh, I didn't get it right. But after that Shoryuken, I could have done this, and it would still pick it up. Let me try that again. Yeah, there you go. So the supers and the EXs can kind of extend a juggle past its expiration, in a way, and so that's how you get more out of it. So there's only so much you can do without the EXs, since at some point it's gonna end. So that, I guess that's kind of a rundown. The last demo, the last version, didn't have that change. It did have the ability to do that, but I don't believe that the EXs worked to extend the juggle. It's been a while. It's been many months since the last one, but I believe that's how it goes. Now some EXs will set them in a state where they can be hit by anything. That's not one of them. It's such a juggle, so you can use a Shoryuken, but you can't do that. But now this, you can do whatever you want with that. I like to run up and do something, or super jump and then do something, but you don't have to. That's not what I wanted. You could still do that. I suppose if you're already in max mode, you can do, if you can get in there fast enough. Oh, come on. I'm screwing my run cancel up. Actually, you know what I can do? I'll do that. Boom. Or, I want to be super tricksy. I don't know what you're going to do with it. Maybe you're going to backdash it. Maybe you're going to let it go beforehand. You don't know. So you can create some interesting situations using all these different things. So I guess the point is that EX moves have a lot of different properties. They're not all the same, but they will pretty much all do that post juggling. I think every EX move can do that currently. I don't think there are any exceptions, but I could be wrong. So yeah, I guess that I kind of lumped in the system changes with Ryu, so that took a little longer, but that pretty much sums up all the Ryu changes, I think. So let's get to Ken and those crazy kicks I was talking about. And let's go to another stage. This one I like. I really like this one. It's the King of Fighters 98 stage. So, Ken's crazy kicks. You can hold the buttons to get your Inazuma, which is the overhead. Now they don't connect as one hit, so it's not like Super Turbo. But if they happen to be crouching, they're gonna have to stand up to block. Now you can mix up the timing a little bit, where this one goes quicker into the Inazuma. They might think, oh, they missed, but you know, if they don't stand up, they're gonna get hit by it. And you can do the Inazuma on its own with just forward light kick. Forward heavy kick, step kick from Alpha 3. So that can do a lot. Kind of keep them at bay. So if they step forward, they might eight something. Now you can stand people up from crouch. This was in the last demo, but I don't know if everybody noticed it. So normally, if I use Tatsu, it's not gonna hit, but if you use a crouching heavy punch, you'll stand them up. So it's kind of like Street Fighter V in that regard. can link between those two and do stuff like that. So it's like, oh, well, here he's... Actually, it will hit him because this one launches him in the air. But this wouldn't. So if I just did this, come on, there. Then notice it just goes right over. But you can get around that. Okay, so crazy kicks. How do they work? They work like HD Remix, and I think does Ultra Street Fighter 2 do this? Well, SVC Chaos, SNK's Capcom versus SNK game, did it this way too, where they're half circles. They're all half circles. So they're delineated not by the motion, but by the button that you press. So half circle with light gets you this one. And let me stand it back up. Half circle heavy gives you this one. And a half circle EX, sort of. Like, it's not really an EX move, but you use both buttons, then you'll get that one. And then each one of those, if you hold the button, you'll get the Inazuma. So it works a little bit like, kind of like a sort of toned down Super Turbo. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh, you know, that sucks. Super Turbo had such great crazy kicks. Yeah, well, guess what? You got them too. You just got to be in Power Max to do it. So Ken gets fire on the kicks, and now they're true block strings, and they do combo. But wait, there's more. So in Street Fighter V, Ken sort of has the crazy kicks. I think it's like if you hold forward and medium kick, it's like a unique move, and it did this, and then it did this, and then it did this essentially. Well, you can do that. You have to do it manually. You have to put in the half circle light kick, half circle heavy kick, but you can do it. And like Street Fighter V, it's special cancelable. So you can do stuff like that. Or you can do this and this one too. So you have to start with the light. You can do the light and then this one, or the light and then this one. This one's got more range, but because it ends in a knockdown, you can't do the special cancel. But if you're close enough... Oh. Nope. Ah, stab it. Focus! Focus! It's not working. Okay. If you're close enough, you can get this one. And that leaves you into the special cancel. But if you're far away, you're not going to be able to get that. So, you can get that. It's not as rewarding, but you can get something out of it. That's easier with a light punch. You can get them when they're falling down. A heavy punch one, you can do it, but it's... yeah, the timing's a little stricter. So here's the deal. If you do standing heavy punch and cancel into crazy kick light, you're not going to get that close hit that you need. But you can get that one. If you get the crouching, you can get the whole thing. So there's those two hits. It's kind of the rule of thumb is if you don't get the first hit of the light, you're probably not going to be able to do this. There are a couple situations where you can. Let's see. Yeah, so at that distance, that perfect distance, you didn't get the second. You didn't get the first hit, but it still went. I would be wary about it because you might accidentally whiff something at that range. So be careful. I just kind of, if I don't see that first hit happen, then I don't bother going for that. It's slow enough that when you get used to it, you can tell if you see that to go for this one. And then if you see this, if you see the crouching, then you know to go for that one. So when you get used to it, it's kind of almost like a safety on that. Because this combo's a little hard. And sometimes I get standing heavy punch instead of, or no freaking punch. Oh my god, I'm screwing up. I'm not doing it fast enough. Okay, so there, I did standing heavy punch, but my second kick didn't hit, right? But it will if I use the other combo. So the other thing to take note is that these aren't true block strings when you do the Inazuma cancel, and they will get blown up by quick moves and reversals. Not so in Power Max. Put them on block. Even blocking, they're safe. Even just Inazuma on its own is actually safe in Power Max mode. That's Ken's special ability. Now there's another nuance here. Now that is a true block string, but that is not. So this is the safer option. You don't get the high reward, but it's the safer option. And you don't need to use Max to kind of get away with it. So that's the nuances of Ken's crazy kicks. It's kind of, that was the way I had my cake and ate it too. So you can do all the crazy super turbo shit like it connecting, and it's like a true block string and all that shit. But that's only in Power Max mode. So you can let's see. Yeah, we'll just start it from here. You can just do this, and there you go. It's a 5-hit combo. If you're unsure, or if they happen to block it, you know, you're safe with that variation. Now you're still not safe going from the light to the heavy variation. Here, there's that gap in there, so you gotta be careful. There's more risk on that. But this one's the safe one, so that's your safe pressure. Well, yeah, they gotta be standing too, remember that. Because if they're crouching, this one and this one will whiff completely. This one, if you're close enough, you'll get that first hit. But I believe at max range, yeah, it'll go right over their head. So it's tricky. It's tricky. But you can get a lot of meterless damage. Let's not that. Do auto. You can get a lot of meterless damage by using them if you can land them. Now again, like, they have to be standing for you to get everything. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do with this. So if Ryu whiffs something, you're like, oh no, you're done. Oh, gotta let him land. Timing. Yeah. It's like, oh no, you made a big mistake, boy. That's, yeah. If they whiff something heavy, man, that's it. Like, you get them in that and boom. Ouch. Take them out. Because you can whip it. It's a little hard, so I have a little bit of difficulty doing it consistently, but you know, you can get into another loop of it and then end it with something. And you don't have to end it with a Shoryuken. You can actually end it with a Heavy Tatsu, I think does the most damage. If you get all the hits in on the Heavy Tatsu. You have to get the knee and all 3 hits. It does a lot of damage. Otherwise here I think it just does the same as a normal Light Tatsu. Yeah. In fact, the Light Tatsu does slightly more on all hits, I think, than the Heavy does from a distance. But the Heavy with the knee does the most damage, I think, out of all the non-EX special moves on their own. So yeah, that's if you don't want to max cancel it, because if you want to max cancel it, you want to do this because the heavy Shoryuken gives you a lot of time to do something and set up the next bit. But you have to cancel it on the first hit. If you go any higher, that's it. You're not going to get it because you came off the ground. You can't max cancel in air. Just don't work that way. You can basically any special move. So you can just go right into this or supers. So if you get this and you're like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna confirm that. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. I'm cashing out. See you next round. That's it. And I guess that kind of leads me to supers. Ken's supers did get changed a little bit. So you do have Shinryuken, and they got prettied up, which is the biggest change. But Shinryuken will actually pull characters in, like a vacuum. So you notice Ryu is a bit far away, he got pulled in. And that makes it easier. Let's try that again. Makes it easier to use in combos because it pulls Ryu right back into it. Now there is a limit though. If they're too far, hold on. Come on. Oh, come on. I'm dying here. This should be simple. Oh my god. There. You can't pull them away. You can't pull them back in that far. So there's some situations where it's not ideal. And in which case you can use Shoryuken instead, because it goes farther forward. So, see how he leaps forward? You want to use that to get that, because this isn't going to work. So there's different uses. Now, the Shinryuken does more damage if you mash it out. Get all 17 hits, does more damage than the Shoryuken does. At the same level 3. As you can see. But, you also lose your Oki. They wake up actually slightly before you do, if they use the quick get up. With the Shoryuken, actually gives you time to continue on and get a little bit extra pressure. And the Super Jinrai has the most. Especially if you're in a corner, like across the screen, yeah, not so much. They get sent far enough away where it's kind of, they can recover. But if you've got them in the corner, if you can stay on them in the corner, Super Jinrai is that's what you want. See, I'm already throwing shit out there, and he hasn't even woke up yet. So that's kind of the sort of nuance between the three supers there. I believe Super Jinrai does the most damage, or at least I intended it to. Let's see. It's harder to land than the other side. 460. 450. And 420, yeah. But it's harder to hit. So here's the deal with that. Reppa will hit in the air. You won't get full damage because not every hit will connect in the air. And let's try that again. Oh, wrong one. Ah, all right, we're doing this corner. Make it easy on me. Okay, and obviously the Shinryuken's basically an anti-air super, so you're gonna be able to get that. Super Jinrai? Not so much. You can get one hit, even if it's hard to time even. But if you can get the hit, it won't do very much. It'll bounce out. So it's kind of like the old Alpha games Like KOF will drag your ass to the ground and continue that shit, but in the old alpha games you can't do that. You'll bounce out. There you go. It's hard to get, but even then, it's not worth it. You just wasted a level 3. So the Repa is kind of like the safe choice here. Let's see if I can. This cancels hard. I could get that one, but Jesus. There we go. Yeah, that's not gonna do anything. And so this will do a little. You won't get complete full damage off of it. At least I don't think so. Let's see. How many hits is this? That's 7 hits. So if we do... Yeah. You don't get all the hits. You jump. Poor old man is having trouble comboing the over 30 club. Yeah, really, man. Dude, it's rough. It's a rough. I mean, I'm trash to begin with, but now my ass is getting old. It's too much. I can't handle it. I gotta retire and become a developer. You see, that's how it goes. Not that I was any good to begin with. So same deal with the heavy. Like, you'll get most of the hits. It's kind of the safer choice there. So it's got the ground range advantage over Shinryuken. It's got decent damage, and it's also got the come on, there you go. That if you accidentally did like a Shoryu Light or something, or you popped them in the air, you'll still get something at least. But yeah, with this, you ain't gonna get anything with Super Jinrai. So you have to make sure that you get it off something that's reliable. Or I'm gonna switch Terry for this to show this. The Shoryu gonna blow right through a heavy kick, so that's not gonna help. There's another way to get into Super Jinrai. You can confirm on a counter hit. So let's we'll keep input view on, but we'll set Terry to do something after he's been hit. So there you go, counter hit, right? Gives you just enough, just one frame enough to get that in. And there's enough time to confirm it. You get used to the timing, you'll be able to see it. Especially when you're fishing for it, you're like, oh shit, I got that. Alright, hold on. I'm concentrating more on this part than I am the second part. Oh my god, I'm screwing up big time now. I don't know if he's gonna get it at that range. Damn it. My mind's in a different place. Hold on. Ah, not fast enough. Nah, that's too far. That's too far. You gotta be a little closer, like that. But yeah, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, boom. And, you know, if they're doing something, got them. So there's ways to do it. Counter hit gives you 3 additional frames of hit stun to work with. I think. Or is it 4? I think it's 3. I think normally it's 2. Because I remember I giving it more. I think in like Street Fighter 4 it was you only get 2 frames extra or something. It's something like that. Either it was 3 and I gave it 4, or it was 2 and I gave it 3, but I actually increased it. The math just seemed to work better that way. It didn't seem all too useful if it was only like 2 extra frames. Especially not with the... Like, this game's got, like, the attacks are, like, really long, sideways. And so if you couldn't do something like this, it almost felt like there was no reason to even have it. Like, the counter situations were so minimal without adding that extra bit to it. The extra frame or 2 or whatever I added to it. Oh, it was too late. But you get the idea. So there's ways to get into some of this stuff that's not just a typical, you know, well, I'm a comboing. That's my combo. There it goes. Nah, I could have got that. Oh yeah, the other thing, and the reason that I also like to start the crouching heavy punch is if they're crouching, you're not gonna get this. You have to stand them up with a crouching heavy punch. Like, yeah, like this. That's not gonna work. But that will. So, I think this was also in the case in the last one. There's an additional hit here with the knee, so it can hit faster than it used to, the EX Tatsu, but you do get the hard knockdown. This is a hard knockdown, so notice how much time. Tarek spent a long time sitting there. And then if you can get that timing down, see how I only hit the second hit of the Inazuma, not the first. That's another... Yeah, here, what I'll do is I'll set him to all guard. I'll do this. Oh, okay. I didn't get the timing quite right. I got the first part. There. That connected. Only on counter hit of this can you get crouching medium kick in there. And then you can throw a Hadouken, and then you can do all your crazy bullshit. So there's a lot of stuff you can do, you know, in the counter hit situations. I did think a lot about that and what kind of stuff is available. And so it's all timing based, because if you get that first hit, you can't get a counter hit on the second hit. Only the first hit will counter hit. Because this is just, well, it's just a 2-hit move. So, yeah, so if he does... let me knock him down. If you do it too late, so you get a counter hit, but it's only in the first one. You can't do anything. Now, there is something to be said for, there is a max system that you can cancel overheads with. So if you want to spend the max, you will get that, but... Oh, I did that wrong. Notice the damage on that. Damage on that's not quite as much. So why? Why is that? What happened? I even got an extra hit, so how come my damage was less? If you max cancel an overhead, your damage is less than it would be if it was done by counter hit. So, just as an example, we'll do a level 3 and I'll turn on attack info so you can see the exact numbers here. 420 for that. Now I even got the extra move in there in that combo, but I only got 412. If you max cancel a standing overhead, you don't get you know, you get scaled a little bit extra, so you don't get the full damage. I think that makes it fair, because otherwise you could just YOLO, I got you, bitch! You know, like it was a little too much. It was a little too much. So that's what, 401? Where doing Shippujinrai on its own is gonna get 460. And of course, when you're at lower health, it's gonna scale even higher. Because you get, you know, more scaling occurs when your opponent's at lower health. So that kind of compounds that you can't just YOLO end the round. Oh, it's just, I guessed, and I guessed right. I max canceled it, and now you're dead. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of thought that went into how to handle standing overheads. And just to be curious, there's no follow-up here. You have to hit that counter hit. He's gonna guard though, but yeah, you'd have to hit that, and then you can do this, or you could just go straight into super because of the counter hit advantage. Okay, so Ken's still got a lot. Oh man, Ken's got a lot of stuff. We're almost done though. We're almost done with Ken. Air Tatsu kind of changed a little bit. So here's the deal. The timing's a little bit more consistent now. Because Air Tatsu has a couple different follow-ups. And it's really good, like, for this crap. So, boom, went right through it. So yeah, okay, I landed it, but you noticed I could jump after it. It does jump cancel on this thing. Jump and super jump. And that leads to a whole bunch of crazy bullshit. Like, that shit's fun. That shit's really fun. Let's see. Ah! Okay. Focus! Ah! It's not easy. This might actually be one of the hardest things to do right now in the game. Something like that. There's actually a harder variation. There it is. Oh, I missed it. Oh, too early. And this one's a toughie. There you go. There we go. Not too shabby. 565. I mean, yeah, I used all 3 bars on a max, but they look cool as shit. So shut up. And you have to be near the corner too to get the additional stuff. So sure, you can be like out here, but that kick's gonna send them away. So there's not too much you can do. I mean, you can max and try to follow it, but I'll be honest, it's probably not worth it. You could, I don't know, I ran a little bit late there. You could probably get that. I don't know. It looks like you barely, maybe just barely, might be able to catch it with an EX Tatsu. I don't know, even that might be too slow. Oh, no, you can get that. And that's a hard knockdown, so you can, yep, you can set up your crazy bullshit and do what you need to do. So, the EX Tatsus are nice. This actually, the jump cancel came from a glitch, believe it or not, originally. And I'm like, holy shit, that's awesome. Too late. Yeah, there's timing. If you don't super jump, you kinda, I don't know, the timing's different and you can't get all 3 hits usually. Because your jump arc's a little bit sustained when you do a super jump, so you're in air just a little longer, which means you're not falling as fast, and it gives you that perfect window to get all 3 hits in. It's tough though, man. Like, for shitty scrubs like me, like, that shit's tough. It took a long time to be good enough to test this on a regular basis. And I made it easier than the last version. Like, so there's not a lot of hit stop on it when you hit them now, so the timing's pretty consistent, whether you hit them in the head or whether you hit them at the toes, you should be able to get it. It's a lot more consistent than it had been. I had a lot of trouble with the consistency of that move. That one took a long time to solve. Basically just reduce the hit stun on it, or the hit stop rather. So let's see, what else can Ken do? He's got an EX fireball because he's Ken. He has to have a fireball. Oh yeah, EX Shoryu. It's basically third strikes. It does decent damage. And the actually, this is a good way to show this. Oh, okay. In the corner, it's a little different. And also I suck, so... And that's not good either. Ah! I'm dying here. Oh no. Maybe I have to... I think maybe I do the normal jump here. Not the super jump. I think I have to do normal jump. Okay. Well, I can show it this way too. Just like with Ryu, the EX attacks allow you to continue a juggle past the point where the juggle drops. So this actually sets a juggle flag, that's why you can do that. When you're out in the middle of nowhere, there's not enough time to do it, but I thought it was a nice offensive tool for Ken in the corner. So you can do stuff like that in the corner, which makes it more interesting because that's actually his armored attack in an Armor Max. So if you've got them in the corner and you're pressuring them, and they do something dumb, it's like, oh, gotcha. As long as you don't get pushed back too far. I think because Terry moves really far in with this thing, you might not be able to get that. But, use heavy. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Ah! I'm dying here. There we go. You can get heavy. Now, because you're already in Armor Max mode, you can't cancel into anything else. Once you're in one of the modes, that's it. You have to wait till it expires. Or if you do a super move, it will expire when the super move's over. So there's a lot of I think there's a lot of depth in the system, at least. I think that there is. I guess we'll find out when more people start playing it, especially like pros and high-level players. If they like it. I suppose if they think it's trash, then they're not gonna play it, right? But, yeah, if I could get high-level players to try this out, I would be happy as a pig in shit. I really, really want that kind of feedback. I haven't gotten that yet. And there's that roll. Boom, gotcha. Roll's really useful, and Ken's roll is fast. It goes far because he needs to get in. That's his whole deal. But his backdash is a little stunty. But it's still effective. It's quick. It's like Third Strikes. It's not quite as stubby as Third Strikes, but proportionally to the rest of the cast, it's a little stubby, but it's very quick. So let's see. You know, you can do stuff like that. Again, the rolls are hit invulnerable. You can't get punched or Hadoukened or DP'd out of a roll, but you can get grabbed. So if you roll on Wake Up, let's see. I'm actually roll. Oh, you woke up too fast. There. Oh, and I can grab them. Oh, speaking of grabs, you do have to mash out this grab. That's the forward grab. Back grab is, I don't know what they call it, the Hell Wheel or something. I always thought that was a weird name. That's the typical one. But we're back to Ken's got to press buttons for his grab, which I like. I don't know why they got rid of it. They're trying to suck out all the fun. Don't you know it's fun to mash? Don't you know? It's fun! You can use the max modes to kind of freeze time too. So in that way it has that V-trigger benefit. Oh, didn't mean to be holding up there. And because supers have some invulnerability, like they have 5 frames generally in the front part of the animation. So you can get situations like that. There's a lot of stuff. At least I think so. I think there's a lot of stuff to play with between, you know, the nuances with the max modes and all that stuff. Now, Ken's a little bit of a higher execution character than Ryu because of all this additional mumbo jumbo. Like, this is not the easiest thing to do because you do have to do 2 half circles, and if you mash too much, you're gonna get, you know, that. So you have to be a little precise with this. And like I said, you can do any move out of this. But if you want a Hadouken, you gotta delay it slightly, because if you don't delay it, you're probably gonna get the Shoryuken. Because if you hold forward and then do the Hadouken motion, you get Shoryuken. So I did put that shortcut in. So it's like 4 and 5 in that regard. And 3 had that too, I think. So if you do this, you're probably going to just get a Shoryuken if you do it too fast. You gotta wait, so when you do the second input, just wait, and then you'll get the Hadouken instead of the Shoryuken. It'll let that forward input expire off the buffer. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty much Ken. Let's see. I did this, I did this, I showed that, and it's just an EX projectile. It eats one-hit projectiles, that's its whole purpose. Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't really show this too much. I showed it when I had the AI do it, but I put Ken's Street Fighter V Tatsu in to give him more of a clearance over projectiles here. So yeah, okay, he does have the light one, and you might be able to get something there. But if you got the heavy one, like, you get the knockdown, you know, you get to set up for additional shit. And it does a lot of damage up close. So it's actually a pretty good ender. If you don't want to use meter to end a crazy kick target combo, like that, use the... Use Heavy Tatsu. I think it actually does the most damage as an ender for that combo than any of the other meterless specials. And you do get knockdown for it too, so have some fun. Get a little Loki. Have fun. Ken's all about having fun, man. That's how he should be. Crazy, wild, fast. That's what I like. Funk. That's Ken, man. That's Ken. I wanted to make sure Ken was fast and wild. He's supposed to be fast, wild, and fierce, right? So that does it for Ken, I think. Let's see. What else do we got? So we did go over the net play with Parsec. So we will have built-in net play eventually. We did some testing with it. It worked okay-ish, but we do have to clean up some of the code, you know, to get more of the structure suited for that. Like, that code's hard. It's not an easy thing to build. So as we've been researching it, we realized, okay, the code's kind of a mess. We're gonna have to clean this up because we're gonna need to be able to, like, save the state of the match and then, like, snap back, you know, do like a rollback if we need to. You know, we need to be able to resimulate stuff, and the stuff's just not organized enough right now to get that kind of functionality. So that's actually kind of the next thing. Since this demo is out now, I want to clean all that stuff up now that I got. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, okay, we could make delay-based netcode, but we've seen how that worked out, and it's not fun. Like, people are just not going to be satisfied with that. So we either need, like, I think. So we're using the Unity engine to backtrack a little bit. We're using the Unity engine to build the game in. I heard that Punch Planet, an indie fighting game, uses Unity, but I heard that they're using GGPO. Now, GGPO, last that I knew, only was for C++. I don't think they had an API for C#, and since Unity uses C#, I know this is getting technical, I kind of expected that GGPO wouldn't work with Unity, but Punch Planet apparently has GGPO, and they're using Unity, so it's making me think, is there a way that we could get GGPO in the game? I don't know. I don't really know who to talk to about that. I've heard that you have to reach out to people. It's not just something that you can go and download and use, so I would love to pursue that angle. Let's see. If Skullgirls can do it in Indie Fighter, and these big publishers can't, eesh. Yeah, well, I think it's more of a the big boys tend to want to do their own thing, and for whatever reason they don't want to license out that kind of technology. Even though I've heard that they that they're either lenient or they're just like handing it out like nothing. So it's like, come on, why wouldn't you do it? What, Third Strike Online has it? But of course that was, you know, ported by Western developers. But what it was, HC Remix had it too, right? Or am I wrong on that? It's been a while. Like, those games have been out forever now. Those are the only two like real official games that use it. And then of course like Skullgirls uses it. I believe Punch Planet uses it. But I don't really know technically how it works. Like, I kind of have a basic level understanding of how GGPO works, but like I don't really know the nitty gritty. So I don't know what to prepare for. Like, I know that you'll have to save states in the game to be able to roll back to and stuff. But you also have to update it to sync it between parts. I'm not really sure how it works. So, well, and that's the other thing too. So, like, say it's a Western technology, there's kind of that language barrier too, that you don't, you know, it's not like they're just gonna fly out a Japanese dude and be like, you know, hey, what's up? And if you're saying Japanese, and it's like, okay, well, you know, what are you gonna do there? It's like, there's that language barrier. So I can understand some of the reluctance. Hello, you're back?
Yeah.
Cool. Did you get it done?
No, I posted about it in Discord.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
They
haven't
still
seen
didn't,
it.
that's okay, they still didn't have the color.
Oh, that's great.
But they called it 2 o'clock and said they had the color now, but I said,
Yeah, you're already home.
screw it, I've got stuff to do.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I told them I'd come back Tuesday at 5.
Alright, fair enough.
They better give me a hell of a discount.
Yeah, I know, really. Yell at him. Tell him you're from New York.
Hey, yo, my man's from New York, eh?
Yeah.
He's gonna come and wrap a fucking tie-iron around your heads.
I'm from New York, if you didn't know, and I moved to Kentucky, so that's why I'm in the mountains. Yes, yeah, sorry. But yeah, so yeah, it rolls back frames and input so that it resyncs. That's what I've heard. The basic level is that it'll just step it back to a point in time where both the clients are like, okay, we agree that that this snapshot was good for us. Like, we were in sync until that point, so we're gonna go back to that like 4 or 5 frames or whatever. Marcus from the steamed hams part of New York. Yeah, not from the city itself, but from a little bit up north.
Oddly enough, it was close to Utica.
Yeah, it was close to Utica. That gives you any reference for it? Kind of the Albany-ish area. That kind of region. Really, Rivals Aether is using it. That's cool. Yeah, well, and that's the thing, and that's where I'm like, well, Parsec's okay if you're close and you've got a good internet connection, but yeah, the distance is the problem there. So, sure, you know, Parsec can play anything, but it's hard for me to play with people using Parsec because I got shitty Kentucky internet. And, like, say, Tim, one of my friends, and also helps out with our projects, he lives in Europe. So we can't use Parsec. It just doesn't work that far. It's just not gonna work. So that's why I'm like, I want to get built-in netcode. It's gonna be hard to do, but it's gonna be worth it. And if it's not worth playing, then why would I make this game? Is kind of the thing I'm thinking, you know. So I want to try it. If if you have any info or where I can talk to the people who do the GGPO, like because I know because they did what Rising Thunder, right? I forget what their names were, but then now they got bought by Riot, and so they're making a Riot fighting game. So I don't know, like, are they still? I guess they must still be rolling out GGPO. They must still be licensing it because Punch Planet's not that old, and they apparently have it, from what I understand. And since they're in Unity, I should be able to also apply the same technology. So yeah, I don't know the details, but if you've got some, if you know who to ask, let me know, and I'll ask them. I'd be really, really interested to find out. So, yeah, anyway, so that aside, we're trying. We'll see how that goes for built-in net play. Until then, again, there is Parsec, but, you know, your mileage may vary on that. So yeah, and I guess that kind of goes to my next point. Kind of like the roadmap, like, what are we going to do, you know, coming up? Like, I have to clean up the code, you know, so that we have any hope of having it online to begin with. And like that's kind of the thing. Like the menus are kind of like they're bare bones and basic. I want to add more options to the training menu, like the ability to record and stuff. So I'm going to be looking at that quality of life stuff next. And like the control configuration, I'm not happy with either. It doesn't like it's okay, it's serviceable, but I would like to clean that up too. And have like if I could get like a control pop up here on the select screen, like that'd be ideally what I would want. So then, you know, you can just do it. But yeah, like you say, all in due time. So there's a big laundry list of stuff to do, but you know, it takes a while. Since I'm the only programmer at the moment, so I started the project and just kind of kept it through. But it's been a while, but it does take a while. It just takes a lot of time, man. So yeah, so that said, anybody out there listening, yeah, in YouTube land or Twitch land, whichever you're viewing this on, we do have a Discord, so the link down below or in the Twitch chat, you can just !Discord, it'll give you the link. If you want to pop in, we talk about the development, we, you know, do screenshots. You get to see the day-to-day progress going on. I put in a new channel for matchmaking, and since we got the Parsec, you know, ring going. So if you want to be like, hey, anybody want to fight or whatever, you can do that and handle your matchmaking there. But I have to look at that server thing that you mentioned, though. That having that Parsec server, because that is a problem, like you said, that the host has no input lag, and yet the other person will have potentially a lot of input lag. Now, if you've got Google Fiber and you're living in the same city, that's another thing. But most people don't have that, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a 3 PC setup. Oh, okay. So you would have 3 people in the lobby, let's say, and then so you two would connect to it. Yeah. Okay. I think I understand what you're saying. So one computer runs the game, but then you connect 2 people to that using Parsec. Yeah, that makes sense. And so you would just run it. Yeah. And then so you would have people coming in and out, and they could just switch off, and that the computer would just be running the game and sitting there. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay, I got it. Yeah, so obviously if you're viewing this on YouTube, you can't see the chat. But he's saying, oh, what's that? Oh, cool, thanks.
Somebody got pierogies.
Oh boy, pierogies for the Polak.
Yeah.
They were actually pretty decent. Was it the same ones last time?
Yep.
Yeah, those were actually pretty good. What were they?
You got cottage cheese and potatoes, and then you got spinach mozzarella flavor.
I've never had spinach mozzarella, but yeah, cheese and potatoes. That's classic. That's classic American Polish. Anyway, food stuff aside. Okay, so yeah, what he's saying in chat is that you would have just one computer's running it, like the game, and then so you have 3 slots in the Parsec room. One's the computer running the game, and then 2 people just jump in. So you don't have the host playing the game. You have 2 people joining what's essentially a 3-player lobby but that one player is just the machine running the game. Yeah, okay. That's actually really smart. I like that. I don't have the hardware to support that, so... nor do I have the internet connection to support that, so in order to get that, I guess I'd have to have help, or somebody be gracious enough to host the game. But that's actually really... That's a really smart way to do it. Yeah, look, I have 25 down and 10 and 5 up, and that's pretty primo around here. So it's rough. I can actually barely stream with that 5 up. I would actually
1 notch below the business package.
Yeah, 1 notch below the business. I know, it's sickening. It's sickening. Yeah, but that's right. Yeah, because you would need at least 5 on each end. So 2 people, you're dishing out the video feed to 2 people. So that's 5 times 2 is 10, and that makes sense. Especially like with this game, you could knock the resolution down really low. You could do probably the lowest setting in parsec. I think is 720. Last time I checked. So you can crank it all the way down. It's a pixel game. You know what I mean? Like you don't need much to be able to see this game. So that just kind of is what it is. Let's see. Did I go through all the stages too, or not? Oh, I didn't do Angkor Wat. At least I don't think so. I got a T1 line to my house to play Quake. Yeah. Oh, is that when he's the Joe Rogan one where he was talking to John Carmack, right? Did he say that? He got a T1 connection to his house to play Quake? That's funny. I could see him doing that. That's funny. Yeah, that one just went up. We use the family sharing ability on Steam to share our fighting games on Steam to the server. Oh, that's cool. That's nice. That is nice. I don't know if I should this stage yet. So, in the background you got the monkey running around the jungle. And on the other side here you got Marco from Metal Slug.
I'm interrupting again to let you know that this was purchased for $1 a piece.
Oh boy.
We have until 9/11 to use it.
Uh-oh.
Or at least the manufacturer suggests so. Happy September!
Oh my god. You're gonna get us fucking banned.
No, shut up! I'm Patriot!
It's just gonna get us banned. Oh my god.
No, go to hell! I'm the boss! I'm the greatest Patriot!
So the monkey follows you around to kind of watch the action, and then Marco's just standing there like a dummy. Eventually I'd like to animate Marco. Obviously from Metal Slug. A very well-known, well, I hope it's well-known, SNK property. I'd like to, what I would like to do here is, see this pose here would be nice, like, say, when someone gets KO'd. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, thumbs up, because it's like, yeah, you got him. But I'd like a different pose in the meantime. But, of course, that will come with time. That's, frills on the bow on top of the box, if you want to put it that way. So I think that would be interesting. And then the monkey could maybe like jump when you get a KO, or maybe like when you get a knockdown, he could do some sort of reaction. I think that would be cool. Let's see. He's a natural observer except for Ralph or Clark. Oh, neutral. Sorry, neutral observer. Except for Ralph or Clark. That'd be kind of interesting. That he would only emote like when Ralph or Clark were on stage. Not that I'm saying that Ralph and Clark would be in the game, but...
See, I'm the boss. I'm the greatest American hero, but you have to think I'm the villain. That's part of my mission.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting us banned, it's gonna save the country.
Oh, okay, that's how it works, alright. Oh, okay.
Alright, now let somebody shoot your eye out.
No! You missed everything, Raito. You can catch the replay. So yeah, just like little NPCs. So I'd like to add a lot more NPCs to the stages, but obviously, you know, that comes with time. Mostly, what do I want to say? Mostly gameplay focused in this update. I really ripped up everything in the game and just kind of like redid it. So there is a night version of the Angkor Wat, and I'll give you 3 guesses as to what characters on this stage. Theo. So again, I think. Yeah.
With my grandma's, love you.
Oh, okay. Love you too. See you later.
Bye.
So Theo's in this one, and again, like same thing. Like it kind of looks like she's signaling like a round-ending thing. You know, holding up the V for victory. So I would like to eventually make that like kind of just like I said with Marco. Like if she could do that at the end of the round, but have a different pose. Otherwise, I think that would be interesting. But I don't have any code to support that kind of event thing where it can tell that the round is ended. Or like other events like knockdowns and stuff. That I will be eventually putting in, but it's just, you know, it's frills, so it didn't make the cut this time, but we'll get there. Yeah, like make her animated, so like, say she only does this pose when you win the round. Or like, say if someone gets knocked down, maybe she'll shake her head, kind of like, you dummy. You know, be like, oh my god, I can't believe I got hit by that. You know, something like that would be kind of funny. Because you notice the ground shakes when they get knocked down too, so you could say, let's see, take Terry there. Because there's the Neo Geo World stage. I don't know if I showed this one. This one was in the game, but I think we changed some stuff on it. But see how there's like the trash can there? Like if say maybe there's like a soda can or something on the ground and you got a knockdown, then like it could like rattle. You know, something like that. You'll notice that the light here flickers on a kind of like a random timer. You could also do something like that, like where you get a knockdown in the vicinity of the light that it'll flicker. Kind of like you're jostling the wires. I'd like to have that kind of detail into the game. But right now, it's just there's no code to support that yet. But it probably won't be too hard to do. It's just I wanted to focus on, you know, getting the gameplay right first before I got all that in there. But there's a lot of animated elements, even so, like the lights here, the searchlights. Tim will want you to know that that's Tim's searchlights, and he's very proud of his searchlights. He'll tell you every time, hey, those are my searchlights. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And they do look good. This is also Tim's Ferris wheel. Tim made the frames to make the Ferris wheel go around, so he wants everybody to know that. I would love to see strikers or other allies in the background, and when swapping out, they jump in. Strikers, I'm not going to put in. I can say that definitively. I know KOF had them in some things, but I think that's more of like a Marvel thing, for me, at least. To have, you know, like, they're basically assists. So strikers are the same thing as assists. KOF calls them strikers. And then they can jump out and do the thing. But something like Marvel, I think, is more suited to that kind of thing. As far as having the team members in the background, I thought about that, and I'm leaning toward not having the team members in the background, only because, yeah, they have different functions, but they're basically the same thing. They're assists. They're there to extend your combos or to cover you in situations and stuff. They work like Marvel 1, where you have like a stock of assists, so you can only use them like so many times throughout the match. But it's still basically the same thing. They perform basically the same function in gameplay. Like comparing specific individual strikers versus assists, like, you know, oh, well, Colossus does this and Terry does this or whatever. Obviously, you're going to have differences there, but the idea is they can come in to cover you, or they can come in to extend a combo, you know, cover a gap that you have, that kind of thing. They're essentially the same function. They're just the same. But I think that adding that into Street Fighter sort of betrays the gameplay in that regard. So I don't have any intention of putting strikers in. Now a tag mode, maybe. I like the idea. So the original Neo, the SNK versus Capcom on the Neo Geo Pocket Color had a tag mode, and I'd be willing to experiment with it. I'm not going to make promises, but I'd be willing to experiment with it to see how it might work. And I've actually got some code in there for the future to test that out. So obviously taunts, right? If you do this, there's like a 4-frame delay, or if you got more than 4 frames here, probably got, I think there's 11 frames of recovery off Armor Max where you can't move back, but you can do that. You can cancel your recovery with taunt. Why is that? It's because that's how I plan to do the tags. If you press and hold taunt for like half a second or 3/4 of a second, that will initiate the tag-in. And so that gives you plenty of time to do that off of a max cancel. So I've been thinking ahead about it. See how I can cancel the recovery with a taunt? And so the idea is if you hold taunt, that the other character will come out. So I've been thinking about it. The roots are there. We might be able to do it, but it will be complicated, I'm not gonna lie. So if we can do it, we can do it. If we can't, or if it's ridiculously hard to implement with what we've got, then we might have to leave that on the cutting room floor, so to speak. But I've been thinking about it, because goddamn is that tag mode in that Neo Geo Pocket Fighter amazing. Like, you've got team mode, you've got single mode, you've got tag mode. That game's got more options than console fighters have, and it's ridiculous, and it's somewhat embarrassing that some games are just like, no, we don't need extra modes, we don't need this and that. Look, this thing's basically a Game Boy Color fighter, and it's got tag mode, it's got team mode, it's got single mode, it's got a full story in their arcade mode. It's crazy. Like, SBC Chaos, SBC Match of the Millennium on the Neo Geo Pocket Color is one of the most featured fighting games ever on any platform. It's got more modes than Street Fighter V. It's got more modes than KOF 14. Like, what do you want, man? What do you want? It's ridiculous. That game is so good. Just watch Max play it. Watch Max Million Dude play it. He's got I think he did it for the Ken Legacy. That game is so much fun. So much fun. It did have more, okay, I will say it did have more power, you're right. It did have more power than the Game Boy Color did. But literally, it's a handheld console. It's a handheld three colors per sprite console. Like, come on, man. Don't get shown up by the handheld game. What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't get shown up by the handheld game. That's embarrassing. I don't know. You get the idea. So I'd like to try it, even if just for the legacy of the Neo Geo Pocket Fighter. I would like to try it. And if it works, cool. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And it is what it is. You know, it might also be busted as shit, because everything else really isn't balanced for that kind of thing. But I don't know. We'll see. You won't know until you try it, you know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes. Even if it is busted, screw it, whatever. If you don't want to play it, you don't want to play it. Just don't go to ranked, I guess. You know? But if you want to play busted tag mode, then go play it. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it won't be busted. Maybe it'll be cool. But, yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, I guess I put that on my to-do list. I think that's pretty much it. I've gone through all the changes, I think. Gone through the roll recovery, the quick rise has changed, the EX systems have changed with the combos. Oh, chain lights. Jesus. I forgot all about that. I don't think the old demo had chain lights. So you can on hit or block, or with, you can chain lights, and you can chain between them and all that good stuff. It's a little harder with Ryu because, oh wait, hold on, I gotta use heavy. There you go. So you can do stuff like that now. You don't have to link them anymore. I mean, you can still link them if you want, but you don't have to. They can chain now. It just makes the whole game a little faster. Like, I also made jumps a little faster, but I'm not gonna bother like going into every single thing. Like the power max cancels actually stop time for less time than the old demo. There's a lot of little things that I did to make the game feel faster and also more impactful. Like supers now have flashing effects when you use them. I don't think the old demo had that. Added more frames of animation, like on the Shinshoryu, that kind of stuff. But I'm not gonna go through everything. I'd be here for hours going through every little detail. But suffice to say, we redid every move, all the hitboxes for every move. We redid the animations for every move. Everything was ground up and reprocessed in this last update. Since the last public demo. Everything. All the animations look way nicer. All the effects got touched up. There's more effects on certain things, like the EX Shoryuken has that shockwave on it. Or the Shinshoryu has those shockwaves on it. That wasn't in the original. I don't know if Kaku Fubatsu had the ring around it before, but I think I've edited it either way. Oh yeah, you can't parry projectiles, by the way, in case you were wondering. Oh yeah, lights are actually useful in this game, by the way. If you come from Street Fighter V, you might not be used to that. But yeah, you can do shit with lights. You can go from light to medium. Well, this is a unique attack in this game. So you have to hold, and I'll show the input. You have to hold down and back. So on the command list, this is Kurobushi kick. Right there. So that's, you have to hold back and do heavy kick while holding down back. Gets you that. Otherwise you get if you hold down or down forward, you get that one. And so that way you can roll from that position, from this position, you do this and you can just roll it to forward and you'll get your Hadouken. It seemed to be the best way to implement that with 4 buttons. We tried a bunch of different inputs, but that still seems to be the best one. I know not everybody likes that, so that's more of an SVC Chaos thing. Yeah, well, I was just gonna say, yeah. It was used in CVS 1 and SVC Chaos. So I tried a whole bunch of different ones just to test them, but I think they made the right call there. I think that's definitely the way to do it. Oh, you can get a full screen of this, by the way. You just have to run cancel very quickly, and you have to also be very precise with that Shoryu. If you're too late, I would say it's probably like a 2 or 3 frame tolerance for the entire thing. If you don't run on time, and if you don't use the shortcut and you actually stop running by going all the way down and then coming back to get the Shoryu, I don't think you can make it. You have to use the shortcut of forward, diagonal forward, forward, while still running, because that will keep you in a run, and then you can do it. You can cancel out with the Shoryu, but only with that kind of shortcut. I tried to put a lot of thought into it. I hope that comes across. I tried to really think about every aspect of the game, and I'm sure there's gonna be stuff that's busted and broken and shit that's got to get fixed, or stuff that's underwhelming and doesn't work as intended. But I think we've got a pretty good base here. I think we've got a good base, and so if we keep going in this direction, I think we'll be pretty good. We can actually make a reasonably decent game. So, alright, so I gotta close it out. If you've been here and you heard me talk about my 2 hours of sleep, it's catching up to me, so I gotta get out of here. So yeah, you can follow the Twitch channel. We do streams on Mondays for progress of this game, and we do other projects too, but this is one of them. This is the Monday slot. So follow if you want a notification for that. You can follow me on Twitter. I post updates pretty regularly for this and the other projects. Go to the Discord. We talk about the project all the time there. It's basically our dev room. If you want the nitty-gritty details, that's the place to be. That's pretty much it. Links are down below, and hopefully you guys like it. We put a lot of work into it. Special shout out to people that have helped me. So Raito, he's in chat right now. He did graphics, did some sprites, backgrounds. We've got Yoshin 222. He's on Twitter. You can follow him. Raito's on Twitter. You can follow him. We got Pocket. I don't know what we call him, Pocket. He goes by Pocket sometimes, or Anim Pocket. He does incredible Pocket sprite work. So he's been helping out. He did the Kaku Fubatsu. Oh, come on. I can't do keyboard controls here. There it is. Okay, I'm not too great on keyboard. He did that Kaku Fubatsu. Like, it's amazing looking. So yeah, shout out to him. We got Maxi Demand, DJ Maxi. Back in the day, he's doing the music. You've heard all the character themes are original. The character select themes are original. The menu is still from Street Fighter EX, but we're eventually gonna get all original tracks for everything. So he's done an amazing job, especially that Ken thing. Oh, that one hits me right in the nostalgia. So that's super good. Yeah, it's not a one-man show. There's a lot of help that I get. So I mean, I'm the only one on stream, but that doesn't mean that it's a one-man show. I'm not that great with the graphic stuff, so I need help with that. I can't compose to save my life, so I definitely need help with that. You know, so there's a team behind it, and in fact, just so I don't miss anything. Okay. Alright, it's got default controls. Oh, wrong one. Not that. Let's see. Yeah, okay. I'm using the hitbox style. Follow credits. We'll go right through it. So just all the information about SNK and Capcom, the characters that appear in the game, their trademarks, all that stuff. So there's me. So AJ, he did a little bit of programming. I think he did the palette changing effects. YD, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. He's the guy that does all the input latency testing. So he helped me, give me some tips for Unity on what to avoid and stuff like that. What games we pulled pixel art from. Yeah, the monkeys from Shantae. There's pixel art, me, Anim Pocket, Shamat. Oh, that's right. He did the stage that's actually disabled right now because it's not wide enough. There's Yoshi and Raito. Stage editing. Oh yeah, that's right. 'Cause Tim did Tim's searchlights. Don't forget Tim's searchlight. So Raito, and Pocket, and myself, we did stage editing. Larry did the logo. So that's LD. He did the logo, and then Tim made the pixel art version of the logo. I did UI and that character artwork from NAS. You get the Card Fighters font, and then the pixel font. Yeah, the NES pixel font. I found my Bullet. If I'm pronouncing that right. Oh yeah, sound effects, some other stuff. Yeah, Michael Staple. That's Maxi. And So this is the other music that we use from other games. And special thanks to Amber and Zombie Killer. Super big supporters. So there you go. There's the boring credits. So that's it. Hit up the download. The link is in the chat. The link's down below. There's no reason to not do it. So let's see. If you want to know where, other than that, where do we get it? You gotta go to Game Jolt. It's kind of like, it's kind of like a indie Steam kind of thing. So if you go to Game Jolt, you just search for Pocket Fighter EX. You'll have it here, and just download here. 64-bit. I also got 32-bit version. The one without the 64-bit label is 32-bit, because there were some people who couldn't run 64-bit version. So I did try to accommodate that. Right now it's only on Windows. Maybe we'll change that. Gotta research and make sure it actually works on all this stuff. So just look for Pocket Fighter EX and hit download up here, or if you need 32-bit version, it's down there. That's it. And that's all I can say. So thanks everybody for hanging out with me today. It's been a very exciting day to try it out. Again, check out Parsec if you want to try, using that for online until we can get, built-in online. And that's pretty much it. So thanks again, everybody, for supporting the game and the release and coming out to try it. And we'll see where everything goes from here. So I'll see you guys later, and scrub out.